Welcome everybody to opening day, live from the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I am one of your hosts, the heavyweight champion of the world, Marcus, the grand finale, and I'm joined by
Commissioner Lord Manny. Hey!
Ho ho! It's interesting that you chose, of all the authoritarian titles, you chose to go with commissioner instead of president or general manager. Why commissioner?
Because it's a longer title. President has been ruined by the actual president of the United States.
Don't talk about my president like that, okay? Not my president. I'm just playing. Go ahead. Talk about that orange motherfucker.
And the greatest commissioner of all time, Mick Foley.
The commish. You need to get a gavel like he had. You gotta have a gavel like he had. By the way, shout out to the chat, everybody in there. I think it's only Eric for right now. And I don't appreciate your racial slur. We all know the word thug is code word for the N-word, Eric. Thank you very much. That's the way I want to start my mornings and day. Manny, how are you doing today? Go ahead.
Well, I believe I'm more your agent, and you are the the guy that I'm trying to get back into the league.
You're Robbie E. I'm too fat and out of shape to get back in the league. They'd never let my black ass back in the league. I'm trying to run the bases, and they're like, "Are you serious? Are you serious?"
First of all, that was the most backhanded compliment ever.
What? What did he say?
So I'm the businessman, and clearly you're the thug.
Yeah. You never know. You never know. In this day and age, you could be the thug. You're just a sophisticated.
Yeah,
thug.
I want to be in one of those situations where I remove cufflinks to beat someone up.
Yeah. That's the best. Those are the best. That's when you reach full boss status. Is when you're able to, just jump somebody with a suit on. I got distracted. Eric texted me, and I was looking at my watch. He said, "Are we live yet?" And of course we're live, motherfucker. We in the chat. I don't know. I think I got the text really late. Anyway, let's start the week with the Wednesday Night War. Bang. Look at these graphics. They're just working today. They're smoother than ever. Maybe because I lowered the bit rate.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah. I didn't even consider that. Like, maybe I shouldn't go for the largest possible quality of all time. Just so you can see how bad it really is. But anyway, the Wednesday Night War, of course, is the AEW versus the NXT. And this week, both shows seemed to take a chill. They kind of relaxed. It wasn't a special event on either show. There were no heavyweight title matches. There were no women's title matches. They just had a regular show. Manny, how did you feel about this week's Wednesday Night War?
I'm sorry, take a chill. Did we not watch someone nearly murdered on NXT, Eddie?
They chilled! It was a chill week in wrestling. There were no title matches. People chilled. You know what? No title matches. Man, maybe a man died. Maybe Karrion Kross went to Killer Kross this week. Out of frustration that Dijakovic was pushing him to the limit. But he had to. He was frustrated. He had to kill him. He had to show that he was a threat. And since we're talking about that, how did you feel about that Dijakovic, Karrion Kross, Keith Lee conundrum?
I liked it because you got to see more of what Karrion Kross has done, other than just these squash matches he's had, and then he had one like real match that really pushed him, but like really in reality they've all been squash matches. So like it's been nice to see someone take him to somewhere where you get to see a bit more character from him.
Yeah. It was nice to see him actually have to use different moves other than just suplexes, or what if he was in danger, and it gave it added a little thing. And if you look at the background, Scarlett actually looked concerned and worried, and because normally she just looked confident, like, my man to get back in this, my man got this. But this time you see her in the background like praying, like she was falling and praying that he'd get back up. I don't know if I've seen stairs take people out. I'm not going to say that. But I've never seen nobody take out like the way Dijakovic got taken out. Like, it looked
Well, he
really
sold
intense. Yeah.
He sold it like Randy Orton just sells anything, where his body just goes completely limp, like he's died.
Yeah, he literally died. And the referee, I thought at that moment, the referee should have stopped the match, but but he decided to do a count out, in which I was watching with Ryan and saying, this is a cold motherfucker referee in this match. He clearly died out there. And yeah, you're going to still count him out? He clearly died. And when Karrion Kross picked him up as dead weight and threw him in there, and he looked at the ref like, what else do I got to do? And so he's punching him in the face as Keith Lee comes out there, and he's giving a one shot. The referee's not calling the match, and he's screaming, show me something, show me something. I died. How can I show you something? I pooped in my pants. The game is over.
Those hits were like, I think it was a SummerSlam, where Randy Orton was against Brock Lesnar and Brock Lesnar busted him open with just open elbows. Those were the type of shots Dijakovic was taking. Yeah. And I was like, I would have stopped the match the moment he was starting to do that and he wasn't defending himself. Fuck what Keith Lee has to think.
Yeah, I know. Keith Lee, who didn't bring a towel, was talking about, do you want me to stop it? I did not see a towel on him at all. He couldn't have stopped it. But the referee should have stopped it. I wish we had medical doctors come out, make a bigger deal out of this dude's actually killing a man in front of us. And saying, like, referee, I beg of you to stop the match. And the referee's like, nah, let him die. If he dies, he dies. And he did. He killed him. And I thought it added to the story and from previous weeks. Like, that's what it added. And I was like, this is what this feud needed. And maybe, unlike the beginning of the show where we get very nice spoken Keith Lee giving everybody an opportunity. Just like I got. Like, I don't want that anymore. I need angry. I need a killer. I need somebody to be like, time to go back!
We're not going to get that. We're just going to get more big words. Words that we're going to have to ask Google to define.
Big words ain't never sold nobody else shit. That's what I'm saying. That's why when Eddie Kingston came out on Dynamite this week, he didn't say any big words. He told everybody, shut the fuck up. This is my one chance. Cody, you ain't shit. Arn, you ain't shit. And I'm going to beat your ass. And I really appreciated Eddie Kingston telling both of them that they're privileged and they ain't shit. How did you feel about Eddie Kingston showing up on Dynamite? Do you know who he is? Do you know who he is?
The only thing I didn't know who he was to begin with.
Okay.
Because I was never into Evolve and all the other promotions he's like been in. I think he was in CCW and stuff like that, all the hardcore kind of stuff. But when he started cussing out On, who I feel like deserves to be cussed out all the time he's outside.
You old bastard! Shut up!
He deserved it. And then I was like, yeah, let's go, Eddie. Let's go, Eddie. Then the thumbtacks come out and then I really didn't enjoy it.
For me, like, I enjoyed everything up. It told the story, and I like that Eddie Kingston, who has wrestled in I think he's wrestled everywhere. Ring of Honor, NWA, Impact, Evolved. I've seen him in every time I watch an indie promotion, Eddie Kingston somehow is on the show. Whether it's a PWG show or Ring of Honor show, Eddie Kingston is somehow there. What I like the most about Eddie Kingston is that he talks, and I was happy to give him the opportunity. But his wrestling ability is just okay, but he knows how to tell a story. He sold his knee as if it blew out, and I was actually concerned, like, early in the match that, oh shit, this is his big shot, he got hurt? I feel bad for him. I even like the backdrop that he had to sell his boots and mortgage his house during this pandemic. Like, he had a backstory. He told more story in that one match that I feel like Impact has told in the year they have been in existence.
Impact or AEW?
Impact! Nice saying AEW. I'm gonna say, God damn it. The AEW has told in their existence. And I feel like, what the hell? I feel like the thumbtacks, like you said, weren't necessary. Huh?
Was that the league trying to call you back?
yeah. That was Time of the Sorta. He wants to He's like, he wanted to talk to me. They're trying to negotiate to me another $400 million deal, but I was like, no. I'm in the betterment of the team. I will take less money so we can get the best possible ball players. I'm just saying.
Okay, Keith Lee.
I am the nice guy. I am trying to save our franchise. This year, goddammit, we're going to win the World Series for the third straight time because we've been robbed 2 times in a row by the Red Sox, and the Astros. Or as I like to call them, the Houston assholes. I'm breathing now. So, moving on, back to NXT. I felt like the other big moment was the real thick boy winning the triple threat match in the now vacant North American title. By the way, Vacate just got another championship out of nowhere. Didn't expect that today. But he won the triple threat match. What are your thoughts on that match and the resident thick boy winning it?
Should we talk about Keith Lee actually dropping the title first?
No. Let's talk about that. Tell us more about that.
I feel like it's a better thing than him just losing a random match.
Yeah.
Because it makes him look weak, or it would have been a really stupid finish, and we would have all got annoyed. I feel like this saves an annoyance match, or where he just loses, just to drop the belt. I preferred the fact that he relinquished the title, and now we've got people fighting for the title, which makes more sense than him just dropping it out of the random and then making his NXT run look a lot more weaker.
Yeah, I didn't feel I would have liked to see him defend it and then be like, man, this is a lot of pressure, and then relinquish it, but I'm okay with him just relinquishing it off the word jump because there's no reason to have to. And they have proven this in wrestling multiple times. There's no reason to have to. Evil currently has 2 in New Japan. It means something when you win it, but in the end it doesn't. When Ultimate Warrior won the title, he had Intercontinental World title. It really didn't mean much that he had both. He wasn't defending both. Or even when Becky Lynch, the most recent double champ, had 2 titles, it didn't mean much. Now when Becky and Sasha Bayley having 2 titles, at least one of the titles are different. It's a tag team title, in which you can say this is a separate thing. But a North American title could just be the world title. There's no difference between it. So, with that being said, I'm glad he relinquished it. It seemed respectable. It gave him babyface points. But who do you think deserves this title next? They're just throwing random triple threat matches together. It seemed like of really mixed match people. And I don't know how it's going to actually play out. So
we move into the Gargano versus the resident thick boy, and who am I forgetting?
Roderick Strong, the most forgettable hand in all the rest.
Most boring man in wrestling.
He's the greatest, though. He is the greatest hand. If there's a mid-card Mount Rushmore or a mid-card Hall of Fame, Roderick Strong should be there. He is absolutely my favorite mid-card wrestler. I never want to see Roderick as champion. Never want to see it.
Well, that's the thing. Those two, him and Gargano, carried the thick boy, who's still relatively green in my opinion, to a really good match.
I thought he did fine. He carried himself pretty well. There's only so much he could do with these little guys. He wrestled most of the match like a big man until the time he dove out the ring. But the strategy was to jump.
Wrestling.
Yeah, and I'm saying
should be wrestling as a big man.
There's no way he could have that he was going to out wrestle. That he was going to someone's outside my window. So no way he was going to out wrestle Gargano and Strong. He seemed like such a mixed match in size with them. And that even in the beginning of the match, when he threw them both out the ring and they had that discussion of, he's bigger than us. We're little guys, he's bigger than us. We're going to go in there and jump him. And they had that argument of like, you son of a bitch, you're a heel. No, you're a heel. You're a terrible person.
It was like, you son of a bitch, I knew you were going to do that.
That was a fun exchange.
I like the interaction they had at the back as well. It's like, I hate you too.
Yeah. It was 2 heels just bouncing off each other. For some reason, they had really good chemistry. But I do like the fact that Bronson Reed won the title match and that they're trying to elevate more newer stars into this tournament. Now, next week, we get Balor, Loomis, and Thatcher, which is the most random triple threat match of different styles I've ever seen. How do you feel about that one next week?
Well, given that I really thought it would have been either Roddy or Gargano picking up the win, this could go anywhere. Like, I'm sure they're going to have Finn Balor in this match, but like the way they're like pushing Thatcher, it could easily be Thatcher or Loomis. So like, it's hard to tell or grasp which direction they're going in because they're very big on the guys that you don't think are going to win, which are Loomis and Thatcher.
Yeah, I feel like Loomis doesn't need the title, so that's why I give him the X and out. Now, I would like Finn Balor to carry that title since he was Mr. NXT. He doesn't have the Grand Slam, and he talks a big game, and he is a big star, and he seemed like he should have it. But I want that title to go to Thatcher. I want him to win it and get into that match because every match with the North American title, you will realize it's the ground and pound match that he had with like Oney Lorcan and Matt Riddle. If you could turn that title to something different, as into this is the ground and pound strong style champion, I would really appreciate that. That's why I want Thatcher to win that triple threat.
I thing is, I don't see him in a ladder match.
I don't either, but I feel like he can complain each week.
Style.
He can complain
someone
each
of his
week.
Style. Yeah. Yeah, for someone of his style, I don't see him in a ladder match. Which is why I can see Finn, but it really could go either way.
Yeah. And I don't know. They have 5 people going into this ladder match, and I have no idea who the other 5 is. Maybe Cameron Grimes, maybe Damian Priest.
In theory, I think I'm going to be very happy either way what goes on.
Yeah. I already feel like NXT number 30 with this logo that I thought was absolutely amazing with the triple X and the fire and all that. I already feel like it's already the best show of the year. It's just by 2 matches being announced. And I was like, oh, this is great.
But the NXT mid-card is probably the best mid-card usage at the moment. Like, they're using their mid-card so well. Whereas, like, when you go onto the main roster mid-card, you kind of just fall into the mix. And sometimes we just don't see you for, like, 3 months.
Yeah. It's like, oh, where did Sonny Kiss go? He's, I guess, out there. You never know who in AEW. You don't know their rankings on the roster. Everybody's either main event or they're not on the show. So, that's pretty much the happenings of NXT. I am not going to talk about the Fat Young Bucks Ever Rise. I can't talk about Robbie E. or Robert Stone joining up with Mercedes Martinez. I thought that was a big improvement, and that's the talent that he can have, and they can elevate each other because he helps her out with the talking. How do you feel about that?
Yeah,
Barry?
but I can see her getting very annoyed with Aaliyah very quickly.
Aaliyah's going to get kicked out. I feel like Aaliyah's going to get beat up and jumped out.
I'm not being funny, but the fact that she couldn't lift up that tank on her own to free his leg.
That tank weighs more than her, Manny. It weighs more than her. She is smaller than that tank.
Nah.
That's a life-size tank to her. If she was ran over by that tank, she'd be dead. She'd be dead. Alright, so NXT, I thought it was a good show.
So Wes just said NXT Triple X. Eric thought it was porn again.
Hey, well, here's something that Eric would appreciate about NXT Triple X. At least it has a story. Karrion Kross killed my brother, and now Everrise slowly comes in with Breezango and By the way, Everrise and their interest annoys me even more. Now they're slapping each other on the hips and sliding under each other's arms. It goes too far. It's going too far. They're the gay fat young bucks. That's what they are. Not that anything wrong with being gay. I'm just saying.
The one with dark hair definitely looks like Matt Jackson. Definitely, like 100%. If he grew a beard, he'd 100% be Matt Jackson.
He'd be Fat Jackson. Fat Jackson.
Yeah.
There
Fat
we go.
Jackson.
Fat Jackson of the Fat Bucks. Anyway, moving on to AEW. We already alluded to Eddie Kingston being having having an impact on the show. But other than that, I kind of didn't care about most of the shit that was happening on the show. How'd you feel?
What, on AEW?
In AEW, yeah.
Yeah, there was not much going on. Like, they announced the women's tag team tournament coming, but like
that's just for branding.
Yeah, it was just like I don't need something just to get Brandy over, and it's not gonna work because Brandy and the other one is so green in the ring. It just looks awful.
Yeah, Brandy. I feel like this was only invented for Brandy and Allie, and we complain a lot about. Hello, I think we're back.
Hello.
Are we back? Does anybody know if we're back?
Can anyone in the chat let us know if we're back?
Can anybody hear us? Can anybody hear us?
I think we're back.
We're back? Fuck yeah, we're back.
I thought I read Eric's thing as you are black.
You are black. You are black. You are black. You are black. So I don't know where we cut off at. We were talking about Allie and Brandy, and that this title was only created for Brandy, it seems like, and Allie because of their mashup together. But I was saying that they don't even have enough women. And I'm going to say this too. Competent women in the ring to do a tag match division. I mean, Impact once did this, and it only had the beautiful people and it failed. I don't know what they plan on doing.
Well, the 2-day they just recently brought in a solid with female wrestlers. It didn't really translate this week in the ring. Like Ivelisse and Diamante are actually really good in the ring.
Yeah, I like Ivelisse.
But like, who knows how AEW going to book them? Because once they're stars of the women's division of AEW are back, are they just going to get pushed to the side like everyone else does? Because as soon as Britt Baker's fit, you know they're going to be pushed aside, as well as the returning Anna Jay.
Okay, so this is my...
If the Dark Order release them.
Or Abaddon and shit. Maybe Abaddon and Anna Jay become a tag team. Who knows? But here's where I was upset. This is something that grind my gears the most on either show this week. It was the Ivelisse and Diamante match. One, they tell us this match is happening. I go, oh cool, Ivelisse. I know her from WWE Tough It Up and Lucha Underground. She's good. And then Diamante, who I think I've seen in Impact, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know the name. I know who she is. But I just don't know where I know her from.
The LAX logo on a gear.
Maybe I know her from somewhere. I'm assuming Impact. I've seen her once or twice. But the thing that bugged me the most about this show was the fact that they have their match. They get no video packages. They get no mic time. Then when they start the damn match, they do an ad. Or, not an ad. They do Big Swole's promo against Britt Baker like 3 segments after Britt Baker did her segment. And it had nothing to do with their match. Then, after that, instead of talking about the match or who these women are, they then talk about the results of AEW Dark and, follow that in the ticker. And then after that, they do an ad for the NBA on TNT, and the match technically had 2 minutes of actual commentary about what was going on in the match. And I was like, this is bullshit. If this is my debut, whether I'm Ivelisse or Diamante, I'll be extremely upset because this was supposed to be a showcase for me, but yet you glossed over it with all these ads and everything else like it's a nothing match. And I say, fuck you for that. I've been upset.
With that, I agree with everything you just said. The only one positive thing that came out of that segment was the continuity from last week, where Shida was basically saying, challenge me. If you think you're good enough, challenge me. And then they made reference to that promo, and then why these two are now in. And now Diamante is going to go fight Shida next week on AEW Dynamite.
All right, Manny, I have a question. And this might be a typical one. Other than Shida, could you have named anybody that was in the crowd tonight?
Those 2 black women that I had no idea who they were. I thought they were somebody's mom.
Yep. Okay. No
Penelope
names
was
though.
there.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeva Bates were in there.
Yep. The Liberians. Yep. Okay.
And I don't remember anyone else.
Okay. The one thing all those people had in common is that they're all jobbers and losers, and that's the only thing they're going to do to get TV time. Again, as Eric has stressed on the main show, and now has officially annoyed me, was seeing Sheeta out there with a bunch of nobodies. Yeah, used to actually at least have people who wrestled out there at a time. Now they don't even have that. They have all the jobbers out there. Sheeta should not be out there with her title. She is considered a main champion. She should not be out there.
But what if she wants to be the people's champion and be out there with the people?
Fuck that. The people should come out there and wave and high five them. She doesn't need to be out there. She looks like a jobber. She's blending in with the crowd, and that should not be happening with any champion. If this was going on in any other company, they would say, this champion looks weak. Alright. I'm going to move on from Sheeta. I feel like Sheeta got a lot of time, or this whole segment got a lot of time. That probably wasn't. What stood out to you? What happened?
Apparently, I don't know which one of us said that, but saying those two black women doesn't count.
That was you, Manny, who said those two black women who you couldn't name.
Did they have names?
One is MJ Jenkins, I believe.
No. One of them is one of the competitors' mums, and I'm 100% sure about that.
Alright. So now let's talk about, Eric wants to talk about Griff Garrison and MJF. How did you feel about this one?
What, Jungle Man?
Jungle Man! How did you feel about Jungle Man? The Ivy League, I forget, Ivy League grad or something, whatever he was.
Do you know, it's really bad having to getting beaten up and then made to apologize afterwards, which is just like that's the ultimate fuck you.
Yeah. So what I thought this segment was exactly what it was. It was MJF basically cutting a heel promo while wrestling. He beat the shit out of this young man who I thought looked like a young Chris Jericho, and he was a quick mix of Chris Jericho and Jungle Boy. And so he beat the shit out of him. And he made him tell him that he had never lost. And that made him apologize as he's slapping him in the face. I give heel points to MJF for this. It was the heelish thing you could do.
Given that he's undefeated, and as just Eric has just alluded to in the chat,
he's not undefeated.
Why hasn't he? No. But given that he is undefeated in singles, why isn't he in line for a Cody title shot?
Because Cody is ducking him. And not only that, he has defeated Cody. He should be Cody's arch nemesis. But they're keeping him away from all titles, so I guess he could claim he's undefeated. He's not involved in anything. MJF should be involved in a storyline. He's not involved in anything. They teased the Wardlow turn, and we haven't had anything about that in weeks. Maybe a month, actually, by now. Like, it's like his like the story. They need to tell the story. If MJF and Wardlow are going to turn on each other, tell that story. Otherwise, give that man a title shot. He should be Moxley's next opponent. I'm already done with Brian Cage. He's garbage. You just got to tack him in the yard. Task going on TV going, oh, that would never happen again. Why, you going to teach him you going to give him a ground game? That just doesn't work like that. He's going to get that arm bar again. He's going to get fucked up. Oh, Dark Order was also on the show again this week. There was 5 versus Adam Page. And this is, I felt like, is AEW's number one problem. Squash matches need to end. Just end your fucking squash match. This should have been a 2-minute match. It went on for 8 minutes for no reason. I don't give a damn about 5.
I think it's because their production team really don't understand how to produce TV. Because they've got this deal with Fight TV, they feel like they need to prolong things going into adverts and commercials. You don't always have to go in picture when you go to commercial. You can just end a squash match and then just go to commercial. Because a lot of their squash matches go through commercial breaks, and it's really unnecessary because they're not doing anything spectacular in picture. They're just prolonging 3 minutes till you get back to the show.
It's really the reason they're doing it is to make sure that you don't turn away the NXT. Because I think if you turned away at this moment, you may be involved in that triple threat match involving Gargano, and then that may keep the viewers' eyes on NXT, like the Gargano, Thick Boy, Bronson Reed, and Roderick Strong. You may go, "Ooh, let me see what's going on here." Because do you really want to see Adam Page versus 5 of the Dark Order? There was nothing intriguing about that. You put Evil Uno fat ass up on the ramp like that was going to keep me involved. No, I could care less. The only thing I liked about this segment was when it ended. Literally when it ended. When FTR came out, threw the cooler on him.
Yeah, thing is, I actually want to see Adam Page as like a singles champion and then rolling with FTR. Because that's kind of what you wanted. It's kind of what I wanted when they were rolling with Randy Orton back in WWE.
Yeah,
like you wanted that to succeed, but they didn't. But they didn't pull the nail, hit the nail on the head with that and run with it.
I mean, they really wanted that too. I remember them having the dogs on the type with the Viper in the middle. I liked the logo, but Randy Orton and WWE was not feeling that, and I was like, "This is the perfect like." Whatever they're doing with Garza and Andrade, I feel like the Revival, or FTR as they're known as now.
No, I think Orton was on board, but it was the creative that wasn't.
Oh, I don't remember reading the story. I was just like, fuck everybody that took that away from us. That was good for everybody. Randy Orton, that was a better legacy.
Kenny being a little bitch, running out late.
This is why Kenny deserves to get his ass whooped every single week. How is the FTR there before your tag team partner? You're being jumped by the entire Dark Order. Brody Lee, who's in a very sleek, and I'm going to call it the suit of the week, burgundy suit. Although he did kind of look like a busboy. He came out the suit of the week, and they jumped Adam Page, and they did nothing about it. Kenny comes out late, and they're like, fuck you, Kenny. But what my main issue is they had no follow-up on Kenny's heel turn. If Kenny would have not showed up, it would have been better. I would have preferred that. Because they were teasing the heel turn when he beat up Marco Stunt. I'm saying they should have just went with him not showing up. No, it's no.
They don't follow up on things, which I get the frustration, and I can see why Eric's probably going to go 3 hours on Saturday. So be prepared for that, everyone, in the Clubber chat.
I agree. It's going to be a long one. But they didn't follow up on that one, nor did they follow up on Cody Rhodes acting heelish. This week he fought a true heel, Eddie Kingston, and he was getting his ass beat and was playing the underdog. He can't go week to week of deciding I'm going to be heel or face. Just give me a little sign that he's turning back and forth. What else was on this show? The main event, huh? Oh no, am I skipping something?
I don't even really want to talk about the main event. Can we just talk about the Young Bucks versus the Butcher and the
Blade?
Blade?
There we go. That was the one thing. I was like, fuck, I'm forgetting something. I know it's something I really want to talk about. All right. I'm going to cover the main event like this. Go watch the main event, and then you just find out why I could give 2 shits about anything that happened involved. None. Gave 0 fucks. 0. I wouldn't give a fuck. I don't have a comeback here. I just gave 0, okay? 0 fucks to the main event. At all. Could care less. Actually, Sammy Guevara did come back. I guess we can talk about that. But after the Falls Count Anywhere match, Manny, why wasn't the Young Bucks stabbed on this edition of Dynamite?
So, Marcus, you go by the name Butcher and the Blade. That implies that it looks like their job is working in a butcher's, where they carve meat and then sell you that meat. So, if you come at me while I'm trying to make some paper.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it's a damn shame that AEW had to fire their catering staff or whoever was involved in the chef in Jacksonville and said, well, we have a Butcher and a Blade tag team, we have to pull to work.
I would have been throwing the cleaver at them.
Yeah, right away, I would have been like, I cut you. The Butcher's been in jail. The first move is to shank somebody.
Because the Butcher can't go back to jail. He's on parole.
That's the only reason that didn't happen, I'm assuming, is his parole violation. His judge that you gotta have a job, all right? Your job, you're gonna be cutting this meat. I thought it was interesting. I enjoyed the start of the match it was so ridiculous. It was very video gamey or cartoony in which stuff was happening. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I got a message talking about something with the string. Hopefully it doesn't freeze
I see
again.
that we're frozen again, but it doesn't look like we are.
Are we okay?
Try refreshing.
Who, me?
No, the chat. We're still on.
Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I got a message talking about we may freeze. I don't know what's going on, man. Goddamn internet and this is all bullshit. Anyway, so I enjoyed the start of the match that they were going to have a false count anywhere and it was actually going to be anywhere in the stadium. However, when you come back for the commercial break, don't put me in the ring. Don't have me in a match in the ring. I was really happy about it being anywhere, but they just ended up back in the ring to start the match. And the Butcher the Blade never seemed to have wanted to win the match because there were multiple pin opportunities that they chose not to. But I was okay with it.
That's kind of what bothers me about this. Like, you're in a situation where you could literally be anywhere. Like, you can tape it and be anywhere. You don't have to be in the ringside vicinity.
Yeah. And it would have
been... but they always end up in the ring.
I would have liked for it to be reversed, in which it started in the ring, and then they ended up somehow in the kitchen, and the Butcher the Blade is like, this is our home turf, or something like that. Just do it reverse. But the Young Bucks wanted to get their spot in which they jumped off the table. But it's only so many times I can watch somebody go through a table and the Young Bucks jumping off high shit before I go, I've been there. I've done that.
Well, after Kofi went through that table at Extreme Rules, I don't think anyone needs to go through another table like that.
I just wish they treated the weapons and stuff more important. Like, if you go through a table, you're out. Like, most people in most wrestling promotions, you get knocked out and then you come back later. But Matt Jackson was up 2 minutes later after the Butcher did a crossbody through him on the table.
It's just a spot fest, isn't it? That's what it is. Any Young Buck match. That's what it is. It's just a load of spots.
At least they're learning.
Which is why everyone is like, oh, the Young Bucks are so good. No, you only like the spot. If the Young Bucks did no spots or very limited spots, like if they were limited to like one spot a match, you would think they would stand out as one of the not the greatest tag team in the world, as everyone likes to seem to think they are.
Well, it seems like that's the thing with all the AEW right now. Every match is a gimmick match of some kind that involves a weapon. Just use your ability. Like on NXT, there were no weapons used. Yes, they had a triple threat match, and yes, Karrion Kross kicked the man's head through some stairs. But for the most part, those were all legal moves. Like, there was no, like, really moves that disqualify anybody. There was, I don't know. It's just how they're gonna book. You should just get used to it. Like, next week we're getting a tornado tag between Moxley and Darby Allin versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. It seems like that doesn't need to be a tornado tag match, but whatever.
Oh, and Grunchmouth, we are doing a show tomorrow. We are watching, from Chris's suggestion, Rey Mysterio versus Psychosis from ECW. Was it 95?
I don't know years. Years just go by, alright? When you get as old as I am, time just flies, alright? It all blends in together. It could have been 1922 for all I know. Be like, what? This is a black and white match? Rey Mysterio's been wrestling for 120 years. Back when he had two eyes and back when Psychosis wore a mask. That's all I know. That's how I determined where it was at.
You mean when he wasn't Mexico?
Are there any Mexicans in the house? My worst favorite gimmick ever. Them coming out on lawnmowers is so ridiculous, but it was so funny. I enjoyed it so much. They made that work as much as
Eric,
it is racist.
why you got me throwing shots like that? There's no need for shots like that. Will your internet work better tomorrow?
Well, maybe
unnecessary.
Yeah. How dare you? Alright. So Sammy Guevara is back. He served it seemed like 2 weeks. I believe I'm gonna do the math. I feel like it was a 2-week suspension for what he said.
Well, they're claiming it was 30 days, but it didn't feel like it was 30 days.
Well, it was 30 days for us, but if you think about it, 2 of those shows were taped. They did Fyter Fest back to back, and that was the week of his suspension. And so that's 2 shows. Then they do Fight of the Falling. That's 3 shows. And then this week, which was all within 2 weeks span of time. He was not gone. He was never gone. There was no suspension here. It's 2 weeks. This is like
but Darby Allin was also back, if you noticed.
Yeah. It just proves that they don't give a damn. People will be all over WWE over some shit like this. Like, oh, I thought they were going to suspend Matt Riddle for this. Matt Riddle, Austin Theory. I'm assuming Jimmy Havoc will be back next week, too. They're just going to bring them all back. And I feel like...
I honestly don't think we're seeing Jimmy Havoc back.
I don't know. I feel like Sammy should have got a legit 30 days. He got a... And since it is opening day, I'm going to use a baseball now. He got a pitcher suspension, in which they suspended a pitcher for 14 games. That just means they missed 2 starts because they pitch once a week. So that's how he got suspended. It was never a real suspension, and they never cared about the situation. I don't know how I'm going to be the person to judge. It was some shit from 4 years ago, but I'm just saying he was never gone.
I don't think he was gone. I actually think he was still being paid as well. Like, they claimed he wasn't. His pay was going towards a women's charity, but I doubt that will even happen.
It's bullshit. And they get away with lying because the dirt sheets don't have it out for them like they do for the WWE. The WWE has deserved some of this outlandish for people to journalize and actually hate them. They build a hateable reputation. But the dirt sheets don't report the same way to AEW as they do either WWE or Impact or even Ring of Honor. I feel like it's an unfair advantage to these other companies that no one is like, oh man, Sammy Guevara was still here, or guess what's going on with the coronavirus here? Matt Hardy hasn't been on TV. I'm assuming he has coronavirus. Or
he was on TV looking sad.
Oh yeah, you're right. He was alone. He was all alone.
That was him. There's Matt Hardy.
Oh man, he could have stayed for the Bucks. He could have saved Jeff from being drunk. By the way, that's
a whole mood. By the way, that's literally a whole mood. That picture, that image of Matt Hardy. Yeah. Like when you weren't invited to something and you're the only one that wasn't invited. That's never happened to me.
But well, I guess I watch WWE Network. Ain't nothing going on tonight. But
by myself.
Well, they stuck him with Private Party, and we all know AEW don't use black wrestlers, so there was zero.
No, it was because Matt Hardy wasn't invited to the Private Party.
Hey, you're a little old, man. You're in our 20s. What are you doing? You trying to hang out with 20-year-olds. You're 40 years old, man. You're almost 50. Come on. Go home to your kids. Go home to your grandkids, old man, as they would say in the street. So that about covered it. I thought AEW was a whatever show. It could have just been easily an AEW Dark or a show that I'd never heard of, and everything would have been still intact for next week. I thought NXT did a good job at storytelling, but the first hour was kind of like, the fuck is this first hour? We got Breezango and Everrise and Aaliyah and Shotzi, who I believe is the
did you not enjoy? Did you not enjoy the music of the Mounties? Like I did.
But the Velveteen did it a few months ago. It reminded me of Velveteen. Like, damn, I don't know if he ever coming back for this.
So, Marcus, I gotta ask you this question.
Okay.
As I throw up the hashtag, who do you think won the rating wars this week?
I believe it's gonna be the AEW. AEW will win the ratings and the demo, as Jericho wants to know. Even though I feel like NXT deserved to win. And I think my main problem with NXT and the reason they don't win is because it's the same problem with every WWE. They don't advertise shit. If you told me that I was getting this triple threat match and all the advertisers William Regal was going to make a big announcement. That's literally the only thing they advertised on the show other than Karrion Kross died of COVID.
Do you think in hindsight, do you think it was probably better to...
I would hope that both of them take a big hit Because my uncle Snoop Dogg and my uncle DMX had a versus on Instagram that on my first viewing of NXT, I could give a damn about what was going on in wrestling because I was caught up watching Snoop and DMX.
Who won?
Oh, Snoop won hands down, but I don't believe anybody can beat Snoop. But what I'm realizing as I go online and I look and see who won, if you're from the West Coast, you 100% agree that Snoop won. But if you're from the East Coast, you make it close. And if not, you have him edge out Snoop Dogg. And I don't feel like
There's
that.
no
I feel
way DMX can edge out.
It's that
Snoop.
East Coast love. You feel it. Like, I bet you if Wes, who's in here, or Chris saw the verses, I think they would go DMX. But me, Eric, and I don't know who else is here for the West Coast, I think it's all day Snoop Dogg. I think Snoop Dogg got it.
Is Marcus in a new home? He hasn't wiped his head once.
Well, the hat is stopping the sweat, guys. The hat is stopping the sweat. The hat is saving me. I am burning up. I don't know if you can see my face is all shiny. That's water. That is water.
So tomorrow,
yeah, they got 2 million views, by the way.
2 million.
2.2 million views via Apple Music and on Instagram.
That's more than watch NXT and AEW combined.
Well, yeah, think of the star power. And then the chat was on. The chat was, as the kids say, lit, in which you had LeBron James in there, and every rapper, every black actor, and everything. Everybody was in that chat. It was amazing. Although, if you watch it, Snoop and DMX will say, how there's 2 million, you say it's 500,000 in this Instagram chat? I see the same 10 people coming up on our feed with the chat. So maybe Switch Beats made up the numbers. But it looked like that. It seemed like it was a big deal. So hopefully they take a hit. Match of the night, Snoop and DMX. Yes.
On the watch along tomorrow, are we just watching Psychosis and Rey Mysterio?
We may do more. We may do more. Like on our watch along, I think should be almost a freeform show in which we just let our hair down. Sorry, we're bald, but we just let our hair down and we just kind of do what we plan on doing, watching Psychosis and Rey Mysterio, but we also shoot the shit as well and just be like, oh, let's go do this match. Let's go through your SummerSlam catalog.
Because we have a very extensive SummerSlam list.
Yeah, due to SummerSlam coming right around the corner, I believe we have to go through these matches. And I'm looking forward to it. I can do any of those matches. Whether it's Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle, Cactus Jack, Triple H, Bret Hart, British Bulldog. I can go through it all. I can go forever. Brock Lesnar and CM Punk, where I can actually watch that match for the first time, Manny, because I was there live. Never seen that match.
There's some sleepers in there as well. So like,
I'm not trying to sleep. I'm just playing.
Heart Foundation versus the Brainbusters. You got Randy Orton versus Christian in 2011.
Woo!
CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy 2009. What's the oldest? You got Undertaker versus Mankind. The Boiler Room Brawl.
A cinematic match, guys. This is back with cinematic match matter. You go with that and like the Hollywood Brawl. Those are the original cinematic matches, but not before that time Dusty Rhodes had a match on the freeway.
And I think the worst match in history for me would be the Undertaker versus Undertaker match in '94. But
come on!
I have to watch it again. It's one of the best. It's one of the best gimmick things I've ever seen in my life.
Let me tell you something, Manny. That match made me believe. It made me believe. My entire life, I go with wrestling's bullshit until that match happened. And I go, there's 2 Undertakers. And then that match is still controversial because there's people who think The Undertaker died. Then they say, this is
I
when
thought
they
The Undertaker died.
Yeah, and they did the switch. They did the switch. Oh, this is The Undertaker. This is not the same guy. He died at that time. Oh, it should be exciting stuff. I think we should go with the best 2 out of 3 falls match, and then Undertaker versus Undertaker, which is basically Undertaker versus Chains.
But if we're hitting up SummerSlam '94, we also have to hit up Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. Steel cage match.
So we're going for 3?
We're gonna have to go for 3. If we're hitting up the '94 pay-per-view, we're gonna have to hit up both of them.
Well then, well damn, let's go for it. Are we booking our own card? Is this the card we're booking? Because we can go. How you want to watch it? Do you want to go Rey Mysterio and Rey first, followed by Undertaker versus Undertaker, followed by Brett versus Owen?
So we're booking a good match, a cool down match, and then a really good match as well.
Yes, that's how I would book it.
Why not?
That's how I would book it. That's how you book that show. That's how you book that show. The Sharpshooter Walking Alone SummerSlam edition, and an ECW pre-show. Nothing fun, Chris.
Eric
That's going to be the best match.
These.
Psychosis and Rey is definitely the best match.
Yeah, it probably is. And Eric might jump in on one of these when he gets the free time.
Yeah. So tune in Friday, guys, as I put the ad up one more time. One more time. Watch along the Untitled Manny and Market Show live Friday, 7/24/2020 at 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. in your Pacific time zone. With that being said,
I'm not wearing a suit tomorrow. I am not wearing a suit.
Because it's Casual Friday. It's Casual Friday. Why would you wear a suit? Also, guys, be sure to... Oh, no. My computer, my mouse is frozen or something. It lost connection. What is going on in my station? So anyway, be sure to go to Store Frontier to exciting merchandise. Please check it out at Store Frontier/DSPN. Help us and buy now. It's kind of the tagline I want to go with. Ding dong!
Hello, buy our merch.
Ha! Oh. So that's the end of the show. Sharpshooters live this Saturday as well. 11 a.m.
Because you need to change that. You make us sound like we're desperate. Help us.
No, help us buy now. It seems to work for the guy on the corner, okay, on the freeway. I'm going with his tagline. He invented it. Help us buy now.
The chat has turned on Eric because he's just declared he's not wearing pants.
I'm sure he's not wearing underwear either. He's probably in his bed, butt naked. Just say. Imagine that. By the way, the most disturbing image to me was Killian Dane whipping off his shirt this week. I swear to God, I wish I took an image of it or a picture, but it looked like he was doing the leader thing with the thong hanging out with his shirt, the way it leaped over his stomach. It was absolutely gross. I recommend everybody go back and see that. It literally looks like that.
He kept adjusting it like when women wear those tube tops, and he had to keep adjusting himself like women that wear those tops.
It looked like he was adjusting his underwear each time. And I was going like, if Lita was a fat, bearded Irishman who was 6 feet tall, that's what he was going for in that match. Dexter Lumis is a star, goddammit. I love the way he does that. I need Dexter Lumis versus Bray Wyatt. I didn't bring that up on the show.
Dexter Lumis needs to be with Bray Wyatt.
Either way, I'm down for those guys interacting. Those are two dudes who know their characters and can probably tell an amazing story. If they had a swap match, it would be the greatest swap match of all time. Because it would just be a horror. It'd be like watching Freddy versus Jason. It's Freddy versus Jason. It writes itself. And it could be a good version of Freddy versus Jason. With that being said, Lumber Chat, thank you guys very much. Since you guys were very active. Shout out to Eric in the chat, Chris, Wes, El Luchador, and many more. Gunsmurf, Manny, everybody in the chat. The Lumber Chat. You guys did an amazing job. Yeah, some other guy called
Manny, not me. I don't know who that Manny I is.
Yeah, you're Lord Manny. The commish.
The commish.
Tune in on the Saturday show if you can find out if I am still your Sharpshooter champion. There's the belt right there. It's up. Because Jeff Hardy will defeat... Sheamus will defeat Jeff Hardy and in that bar fight. No redemption for you, Jeff. You're a junkie.
So I did make an announcement on the Sharpshooters Facebook page. If you're not following that, make sure you're following that. If Marcus wins this Friday night on Friday Night SmackDown with his pick of Sheamus in the bar fight, he will win outright because that match is worth 2 points. However, should Jeff Hardy win, it would result in a tie between Eric and Adrian. Thus, both must make picks for the following matches that are occurring next week that have been announced, and you have until Saturday to get your picks in and locked in. Failure to do so will result in a disqualification.
Yes!
Should Marcus win, he will go against the number one contender with the following picks. The challenge match will be determined once the picks are in. So the overall winner, whether it be Friday with Marcus or Eric or Adrian on Wednesday, will go against the person in the Lumber Chat that claims to be the FTW DSPN champion and claims that he's been done. And that is Wes.
Thank you for that update, Commissioner. With that being said, that is the end of the show. That concludes the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Tune in next week, every Tuesday and Thursday. Tune into the Sharpshooters Live this Saturday. Tune into the Watch Alone Friday. Make sure you get the Disman book, the AW players, AWL Big Time Player, episode dos, continuing to grow. Thank you, everybody.
Manny Dos books.
Manny Dos books. Manny Dos books. Ding dong.
Hello, Disman books.
All right. I want everybody to have a good day. Thanks for watching. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. I'm sure it's going to happen again next week.
Eric, if you keep saying I'm corrupt, you're disqualified already.